Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another version, a summer version of the Outback Cooking Company. Glad to have you back around. Today's version is going to highlight tri-tip. Why tri-tip? What is tri-tip, Joe? Tri-tip is it's a roast from beef, right? We're going to show you guys how to do a nice summer recipe for tri-tip. We're also going to take a little field trip over to my neighbors. My neighbor is a professional gardener. One thing I don't have time for around here is keeping a garden going. We're traveling too much, we're gone. I'm really good at messing up a garden. My neighbor has got the most awesome garden. I'm going to show you that here just shortly. We're going to make a fresh version of Ratatouille. I don't even know what Ratatouille is. Joe, do you know what Ratatouille is?
It's a movie by Pixar.
Yeah, I think it's a movie. We're going to call my daughter Madison because I think she's watched the movie, and we're going to find out what Ratatouille really is. In the meantime, I've got a new puppy chewing on a rope over here. Maddie! You're on the radio live, just so you know.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Joe and I are listening right at the moment.
Oh, hi Joe.
Hi Madison.
Today we're making tri-tip with fresh ratatouille. What is ratatouille? Do you know what ratatouille is?
The only reference I have for Ratatouille is the movie. Does it have some sort of tomato in it?
You're right on. Keep coming.
Is it like a soup?
It is like
Or
a soup.
sauce?
Yeah, it's like, technically it's a summer stew of vegetables. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, so we're going to make some fresh ratatouille. We're not going to make a stew today. We're going to make a fresh version from my neighbor's garden. We're going to go over and pick some vegetables out of his garden. But I wanted to ask you about the movie Ratatouille. Did you watch it? I don't even remember if I watched it.
Yeah, it's been a few years, but I've watched it, yeah.
What's the main theme of the movie? Like, what's it about?
The theme?
Yeah, or what's the characters? Is it
I
Remy?
cannot remember the name, but it's a rat. Oh my goodness.
Is it Remy or Remy or?
It's Remy.
Remy the rat.
He's a homeless rat living on the streets.
Ah, homeless
And
rat.
He's hungry, so he sneaks in to a kitchen to get food. He finds a chef that doesn't really know how to cook, but Ratatouille helps him cook.
The theme or the plot that I could find is that the idea is that anybody can cook.
Yes.
Did you get all that, Joe?
Got it.
All right. This is a simple recipe. It's going to go on the fire. You can cook this in the grill. You can cook a tri-tip in an oven. I even saw a recipe today. You can cook tri-tip in an air fryer, of all places. It's going to be simple. We've got simple seasonings. We, of course, have our California seasoning, which is basically salt, pepper, garlic. Really all that you need for cooking good tri-tip is salt and pepper. Most everybody has some salt, pepper in your pantry, so we'll season that up a little bit ahead of time. We're going to take it up one notch. I've got our famous award-winning Stampede steak sauce and marinade, and I'm actually going to marinate this tri-tip for about an hour while our mesquite fire is burning down. We're going to marinate that, then we'll throw it on the fire. We're going to make a little chimichurri paste to go on top of that when we're done. So that's basically the brunt of that for the tri-tip. Our fresh ratatouille is going to consist of, hopefully, if we can find them, some fresh zucchini, some fresh squash. We've got a little garlic. Word is there might be a cherry tomato or two in his garden. He's got all kinds of stuff. If not, I've got some cherry tomatoes we're going to use up. And that's about it. We have a new puppy here.
Who is doing her best to bring down the tent on top of us.
For sure.
She might be trying to sabotage the operation.
Come here, Charlie. Here. Come on over. Alright, come over here, we'll introduce you. The latest star of the show right here. There we go. We got Charlie, she's a golden retriever, and she's excited to chew up everything here in our yard. So I'm sure you're going to see her a bit. Alright, Joe, we're going to go start our fire. Start with that, and then we'll go find something in the garden. Alright, we're going to build our fire today. I've tried this before, but I'm going to demonstrate to you a little bit how to build maybe a summer fire. You ask, what is a summer fire? Summer fire is the idea that we're going to use some bigger logs on the outside that maybe aren't as cured as well. There may be a little bit more green wood. I don't have the greenest wood, but I am going to use some bigger logs. We're just going to build that in a square, like so. And then we're going to put our smaller tinder down here in the middle with a little pyramid up here. What that does is kind of get fire rolling here immediately, get some heat. We are going to make this a combination of a enjoyable fire plus a cooking fire. So we're going to start with some pine that we have, which is a fast burning wood. We're going to get that rolling, and then we're going to add to it mesquite today, which we're going to cook our tri-tip on. Cook over this mesquite, so I'm going to go ahead and get some small pieces of mesquite thrown on here. They take a bit longer to get burning, and they burn a lot slower. Be a bit more smoky for a bit, but once they burn down, they make a real nice bed of coals. Guys, we're going to keep this simple today. Simple is good. Anybody can do this. Tri-tip roast. These might be a little bit hard to find depending on your area where you are located. As far as cutting it when you're done, the grains of this particular roast run in a couple different directions. So just want to cut across the grain when we're done. We'll show you that. And we're going to baste or marinate this in our Stampede steak sauce and marinade while our fire is cooking down, which will be probably about an hour. If you want to marinate it longer overnight, that'd be fine. We're just doing a quick marinade today. And then the seasoning is simple. Salt, pepper, garlic. We've got our own homemade salt, pepper, garlic rub here that we'll throw on here right before we cook it. We're going to use a couple sections of our fire. We'll shove the coals over to one side and keep the tri-tip roast away from the fire, just so it cooks just a little bit slower, gets a little bit more of that smoky feel to it. I like to cook tri-tip just a bit slower and a bit longer, so I kind of use a cross method between cooking a steak and barbecuing. I'm not going to bring it all the way up to 200 degrees like I would a typical brisket cut or pork, something like that. If you're just in a hurry and you want to get it done, you can just cook it like a steak and bring it right up to 130, 140, whatever degree of doneness you prefer. We're getting started with the marinade process. Just going to drop that baby in the glass. And then we'll cover that, throw that back in the cooler for about an hour.
Jared, how much of the Stampede marinade are we using?
We are using approximately just enough. In this case, about a half a bottle of our Stampede.
You know, you could put that on a t-shirt, like a Dutch Oven Smokehouse t-shirt.
We need to do
just
that.
enough.
I'm actually going to make some t-shirts next week. So what should it say exactly?
I don't know, something with the Dutch Oven brand and then just enough. Like maybe in quote marks.
Just enough.
Maybe something that looks like a conversion table for measurements, but in all of it, it's got just enough.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. How much do I use?
Just enough.
All right, you ready to go to the neighbors?
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to go to the neighbors. Charlie, you got to stay here. Tell us what you got in your garden. Okay. And give us a fancy little, if you got a story or some interesting fact. Well, about your bumblebee or your compost or how you make your garden grow so big.
Yeah, well,
We're going to make ratatouille today.
ratatouille.
Yeah, ratatouille with...
Do I get to taste some after
yeah.
you're done?
For sure, if that's a neat, good
you know,
trade-off.
This right here to me is probably one of the more amazing things about this garden. This is yellow crookneck. You can see it starting right there. You know, and this is one of the leaves coming off.
Those are huge.
You know, they are. And I mean, you get down in there. I mean, look at the size of that blossom. You know, these are the male blossoms, and those are the females. But yeah, I've never seen yellow crookneck so beautifully green. And the
compost
plants
did you
are
put in
just
there?
healthy. Well, all I did was put wood chips, grass clippings, and leaves down. And every time I plant, you know, any seeds, I have this little cocktail mix of all of the things I just mentioned. I put that in the hole first.
Oh,
So that once it gets its roots established, hopefully, you know, it'll grow into something. Behind it with the kind of white blossoms, those are my potatoes. And then beyond that, I got some carrots.
Here's the yellow
That looks like a
Oh my
freaking
goodness.
sugar beet.
Look at
I
that.
let it grow too long. You know what? Shoot, I didn't even realize they were that big.
Looks like we got to get to work
This
today.
is
We're gonna have
really
beets
the
for
size
supper
you
tonight.
want. Well, that. I've eaten off of this one, and this is a real meaty. You know, doesn't have a lot of seeds. It's real meaty. It'll make great salsa. And then this row right here is garlic. I planted 3 different varieties of onions. I've got Bermudas, which are red. They're kind of mild. They're good in salads. And then I've got yellow and white. Kale, you don't want the bigger leaves. You know, you want, you know, some of the smaller.
We use that in our, well, yeah, I eat
Yeah.
it, but we
And
use
I've
that in
got
our, brisket or our,
2 different varieties. These are cauliflower. And if you want,
those are useless. I don't think anybody eats cauliflower.
oh my gosh, are you serious? Try this variety. This is
It's
called,
got a bit more red in it.
it's called bull's blood. B-U-L-L-S. Oh, here's a zucchini.
Okay.
Okay, let me go get my knife.
It's supposed to be good for you if it's
Yeah, I
red.
planted 2 different varieties. Yeah, see, this one's far enough away I can cut it. And they always say cut it at an angle. When I took some stuff to the fair a couple years ago, I got best of show. The guy made a comment. That's a little smaller than I'd like.
You know what? We only need a couple just like that, and that's gonna be
Okay.
plenty for us today.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes, perfect. That's perfect.
Nice. All right.
That's perfect.
Thank you so much.
That's it? That's all you need is one?
I got one over there at the house we'll use.
You sure?
Yep, we'll be
All
good.
right.
Thanks, man.
Jared,
Okay.
thank you. You're welcome to come over
All
and
right.
harvest anytime you want.
All right. What do you think?
Looks good to me.
Fun?
Those are some massive beets.
Those are huge. All right, after a quick field trip to my neighbor's garden, that guy can grow anything, right? Couldn't resist picking a couple beets. We're not going to include those in our ratatouille today. I think we're just going to stick with the eggplant, some yellow squash, we got some zucchini, and some cherry peppers.
Cherry peppers.
Cherry tomatoes. We are going to cut these down into some bigger pieces, cook those on our grill, and then we're going to bring them back here to the cutting board, chop them up, and then we'll add a little bit of dressing to that. Plenty warm out here for a fire, but we've got some coals. Our mesquite wood is cooked down pretty good. I'm going to move the coals away from the grate. I'm gonna let this burn down a bit. We've got a couple sections of fire here. We've got active fire. Probably try to make 3 sections of fire. We'll have our coals here in the middle. And then I'm gonna have a few less coals directly underneath the grate. And as needed, we can shove some coals underneath. Our tri-tip has been marinating about an hour. We're gonna coat this in our salt, pepper, garlic rub. It's called Californio. You can use your favorite one if you can't find ours. Don't forget you can order it online. Alright, let's go to the fire. This heat source will be coming across. We'll probably let that cook for 10 minutes or so, and then we can rotate it during the cook. That way one side doesn't get more done than the other. How am I going to do those? I think I'm just going to cook these right on the wire rack. Zucchini, I'm going to cook those, cut those in about, I don't want them too thin because they'll probably cook down a third. So I'm going to make the slice just a little bit thick, maybe somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch. Use that 3/8. I'm going to cut those on the angle. Gives a little bit more room to lay on your grill. Usually I drop them down into the grill. Evidently a smaller squash is tastier. I don't know about that. We're going to find that out. You would think it might be a little more tender. I don't know. Veal squash. Yellow squash. I'm going to cut the neck off, stem end off, cut it down the middle. I think I'm going to grill them just like that. And then we're going to cut those down. I'm going to grill that a little bit differently than the main piece of yellow squash. That's going to cook a lot faster. For this one, I think I'm going to cut that in quarters. We'll try it like that. And I'm debating. I think I'm going to do that for all of these. Last but not least, this fancy eggplant. Have you eaten eggplant, Joe?
I have.
How do you cook it?
I don't cook with it very much, but I've eaten it.
Okay. Today I'm just going to slice it, I think. And then we'll grill that. I'm going to leave fairly thick slices. So I just put some olive oil down, sprinkle a little salt and pepper on, keep it simple. Lots of those out there. Must be hot over here. Next up, we are going to make a little bit of dressing for our grilled vegetables. What that consists of, equal parts of olive oil and wine. White wine is preferable. I only had a bottle of some red wine in the cupboard today, so that's what we're going to use. Lemon juice, we're going to use probably about a third a cup of olive oil, third cup of wine, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and some finely minced garlic, fresh garlic. We got the fire rolling, so we're going to roast this garlic. We'll see how that goes, and it'll help take the outside of that stuff off. We've got our garlic roasting on the fire, so that's another key ingredient here. We're going to use, let's go with a half a cup. When's a half a cup, Joe? It's about right there.
kind of want you to pour it into an actual half cup and see how close you are.
I bet we're close, huh? And olive oil. I want a little more olive oil than wine. There we go.
You do have that freaky ability sometimes.
Yeah.
How hot do you think it is right now?
Out here?
Yeah, just temperature.
Well, I'm sweating. It's probably about, I'm guessing 89. What do you think?
You're kidding me.
No. 89. Is that the humidity on there as well?
No, that's just temperature.
On the one on the left.
Oh no, that's battery. How much battery the watch has left. Probably about 85% humidity.
That's
though.
what it feels like today.
That's spooky how you do that. It's like there are temperature receptors in your skin.
Probably too much barbecuing. Okay, 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Look at that. Roast
That's
that just a
pretty
little
cool.
bit. Look how cool those peel off. Look at that. Slick. I'm not a very good mincer of garlic. One thing, it's about 190-degree garlic I'm trying to chop. So. Time for the small vegetables to the fire. These won't take long. I'd say it's medium rare at the moment. Maybe more on the rare yet. See how that's got a little bounce to it still?
Yep.
All right, we're gonna make some chimichurri sauce to go on our tri-tip. We've got a spicy dry rub here, bought from my friend from Argentina, Frugoni. Check him out, he's awesome. Al, how you doing, bud? We'll put 1 part mix into 1 part vinegar, let that sit for a few minutes, and then we'll add 2 parts of olive oil. Half a cup of that. Maybe a little more. We'll let that sit for a bit and then throw in the olive oil. Good right there. Hopefully we're about medium rare with that thing. Looks really good. Woo! Okay, as you can see, guys, like I mentioned before, these tri-tips have grains that run different directions. We've got some here for sure that run this way. I'm going to dive in about right here and see how that goes. It's a little tricky to cut.
You say about right. Is that you being humble, or is it not where you want?
I just don't want you to dive in and eat it before I get to it. And 2 parts olive oil. Here's some. Rise up. Here.
Hate the dog tax.
we got it, folks. We got our mesquite grilled tri-tip with chimichurri sauce. We've got our summer ratatouille, summer squash, zucchini, cherry tomatoes, and eggplant. The only thing I would change, we were stuck with a little red wine. The recipe called for white wine. I would agree with that. I even liked it without the dressing sauce, just a straight grilled vegetable. You're missing out, Joe. Tell you what's going to be good is this chimichurri. That's the one right there, baby. Alfregoni, spicy chimichurri. Thanks, Al. Appreciate you, bud. I need a TikTok dance. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate you all. I know more of you are liking and subscribing because I see that subscriber count going up, which is awesome. It helps us out so that we can keep continuing to do these videos for you. Thanks again. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Why do you want to do a TikTok dance?
Just because we need something to liven up and make it a little more entertaining.
He wants to be hip.
What's the latest TikTok dance?
Dad, I can't do the dances.
I know what we could do. We could come up with a shake.
A shake? Like a handshake? What are you making with the dog?
No, the dog's entertaining, but don't forget, you can go to the website. We've got 7 flavors of sauces now, including our Stampede, which is a steak sauce and marinade. That would go great on here. We're not using it today, but it's an awesome use for that.
We used it on the...
Oh, we did use it for our... We did use the Stampede for our marinade. Brush Fire, which is a great Texas brisket sauce. We've got our Prairie Lightning, which is the cherry chipotle. The OG, sweet and sassy, awesome barbecue sauce right there. All around barbecue sauce, use it on everything. You use this on everything. Colorado Gold. Mustard based sauce, it works good on pulled pork, french fries, eggs, frosted flakes, I don't know, anything you want. Sunset Rider, that's our wing sauce slash marinade. Great for chicken wings. It's great for pulled pork. I love a thin vinegar sauce, that thing's awesome. And the spicy version of our Stampede, for those of you who like a little extra kick. This is the same as our original Stampede, just with a little bit more chili pepper.
I don't make TikToks.
Whatever.
I don't.
You and your buddies make TikToks.
Those aren't dancing TikToks.
But they're TikToks. Maybe we just need a song.
Maybe you need to have him do one of the lip sync ones. We just find like a sound and have him lip sync to it.
For example, Joe?
I can't think of any off the top of my head, but...
Me either.
You just don't want to sing one.